Alright, guys, so as I told you this week, I was going to tell you about the research I've been doing into Cotton Mather, which is this guy here. He was a Puritan minister, and he's most well known for some books he wrote, and then also being the judge over, presiding over the Salem witch trials. So, if you're interested in the Salem witch trials, um, he's a guy you want to read about. However, that's not what I'm researching into him about. What I'm researching is about slaves, and specifically how this guy here, Cotton Mather, he owned a slave named Onesimus, and all the complicated contradictions that comes with Puritan slaveholding specifically. And so, just we're just gonna talk about a couple things Cotton Mather believed about slaves, about slavery, and how that compares to what people in general believed back then. So, first of all, Onesimus here, he is Cotton Mather's first slave. I do not believe this is an actual picture of him, but this article is about the inoculation for smallpox in New England, which Cotton Mather takes the advice of Onesimus, his slave, and using that, he inoculates himself, he inoculates Cotton Mather, and then Cotton Mather inoculates his whole family because of what his slave told him. And that means quite a few things. It implies that slaves can have knowledge that Europeans, or in this case the colonists, did not already possess, because when Cotton Mather here is supporting Onesimus's theory about inoculation, he had seen the procedure done Onesimus had over in Africa. Cotton Mather is trusting what just his the knowledge of his singular slave over the society that he lives in New England. And so that already tells us that he thinks, Cotton Mather thinks that Africans can be smart, they can have knowledge that the white people do not possess, which was not commonly held back then. Additionally, through reading several documents, such as Puritan Conscience and New England Slavery, and Strangers in the House of God, Cotton Mather, Onesimus, and an experiment in Christian slaveholding, it became very evident very quickly that Cotton Mather was most interested in the conversion of slaves into Christians. And there are some secondary claims and arguments that go along with that. But in general, he was willing to sacrifice, to compromise his secondary goals, such as making it so Christians couldn't, it was illegal for a Christian to be a slave. He was willing to compromise that if he was allowed to convert slaves. And so, to pursue that end, his slave Onesimus here, he spent, according to his diary, quite a long time trying to convert Onesimus. He eventually releases Onesimus, and gets in two other slaves in his life at different times, and tries to convert them as well. But in order to convert them, he tries to incorporate them into the spiritual life of the family. And so things like family prayers, spiritual readings, all that stuff, Cotton Mather here wanted to include his slave in on those things. And so he was very, very, very concerned with the soul of the slave. He wanted to Christianize them. And so, because of that, he thought it was more important that he Christianizes them than that they become free. And then, just another way, one more way that Cotton Mather was radically different than the majority of people that he was surrounded by. When the rest of society thought that Africans lacked the Enlightenment gifts, so like reason, logic, those kind of things, Cotton Mather believed that not only did they have those gifts, but that God could use those gifts even if they weren't Christian. So Cotton Mather, very unique guy. We're going to continue to talk about him here. So, or at least for another few weeks while I'm researching him for a paper. So come back if you're interested in that.